Hey, this is the Whiskey and Chokes podcast. Ty's Travels, Jack and Pat as always.
Okay, so this is podcast number 27. And we've got Mr. Ty Watkins with us, who is a pro rodeo cowboy. You can tell by his name. How could he not be a pro rodeo cowboy with a name like Ty Watkins?
He's from Texas.
And he's fucking from Texas.
If only that was true.
He is from Texas.
My life would be so much more interesting.
If you were a pro rodeo cowboy,
Mm-hmm.
let's see if we can see a little better.
Okay, so you were out in Mammoth
Yeah.
doing your internship at a
Yes.
strength and conditioning gym,
Yeah.
right?
Went there.
Started teaching, you kind of started a small no-gi grappling club,
Yep,
right?
yep.
How many guys did you get, initially? It's take us through how that went. Because you've been out there for, 9 months now?
6 months.
6 months.
6 months, yeah.
So take us through how that, the progression of that and, what it was like to start teaching, even though you haven't been training you've been training for, a couple of years now.
Yeah,
So
2 years.
So talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So I went out to Mammoth about 6 months ago and working with my buddy Ian at Mammoth Strength. It's an athletic strength and conditioning facility in Mammoth Lakes, California. And Ian was always interested in training some grappling. So as soon as I got out there, he bought mats and we started training. And sure enough, the community's really small, but we found a couple people who were interested. So I have 3, I guess you would call them students, who train with us pretty frequently. And then we have a couple people who come in every once in a while and are interested in getting a little more serious, hopefully.
What are your students' names?
We've got Brandon, Ian, Randy, and then we have a kid named Jake, and then his dad, Adam, and then his dad's girlfriend, Kira.
Okay.
So we were kind of talking about something before the podcast, where somebody asked me if you were teaching from our school, and they were seriously? With some skepticism.
Yeah.
And I was I said, yeah. And I thought about it, and I was man, me and Jack both started teaching, basically we had no business teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had much less experience than you.
And so I was telling Ty, I said, the only thing that's necessary to teach is that you know a little bit more than the guys you're teaching.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That you can effectively convey the techniques across to them, in the beginning, at a rudimentary level, when you're a really basic level, it's it doesn't take that much. And the amount of mat hours you put in the last couple of years is enough to give somebody an intro course, most definitely.
Yeah. That's kind of how it's felt to me. It's obviously I don't know a lot, especially compared to you guys and then other grapplers, but I feel I know enough to get somebody started and at least to get them hooked. And that's the main thing. I just want people to train with. That was the big thing going out there. I knew that I wasn't going to have people to train with. So it's been really great to have bodies just to drill and people that are interested.
Yeah. That was the whole reason that me and Jack started teaching. It was out of necessity to bring guys up that we'd have training partners.
Gotcha.
For. It wasn't out of some sort of egotistical, we want to be known as the greatest instructors ever. It was just, we wanted people to train with, and you wanted good guys to train with.
Yeah, we just wanted to train, definitely. And we had mats and a building to train in. And so the only way to attract people is if we would train them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
I mean, it's been amazing for me. The goal, I guess, the end game is to be a grappling coach. I love coaching. I've been involved with coaching since I was young. And it's really great to get in coaching practice so early in my career. I'm really happy for it because it has a learning curve, a huge learning curve. I'm sure you guys know, you've talked to me about. You said some things you used to teach. You were oh, fuck. We revised that later on down the line.
Well, not even just content. It's the way you teach.
Yeah.
Because we went from teaching a really casual environment to college students who a lot would transition out every year to all of a sudden we're doing it as a business. And it was all of a sudden, I think once we were actually, some people were paying us for it. We all took it much more serious.
Yeah.
And it was more of a, I don't know. It was just felt like there's more pressure for me personally.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of, when we started, it was pretty rough. And, you know, I was talking to you about how there's certain, you know, you start teaching differently, and there's certain things, the way you teach people, like there's certain words that when you're describing a technique, people key off of.
Yes,
and
for
you can
sure.
explain it one way,
sure.
and everyone in class will have, or most people have a lot of trouble learning that technique. If you explain it another way, then it's like magic, and everybody figures it out much quicker.
That's really true. The vocabulary thing is kind of weird. It's
Even
kinda
though
weird.
the information is the same and you're doing the technique the same way physically, the way you talk about it.
Yeah,
totally.
Little words, like the way you describe the way they should grab like a wrist or something.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
You like happen upon the right word and then use that word forever, and you realize that's the one that conveys the knowledge the best, for sure.
I'm really lucky because my number one student is my friend Ian, who is a really experienced strength and conditioning coach, and he's kind of like a freak about movement. So it's been really helpful to have him giving me feedback on the way that I cue and the way that I talk and the way that I coach. So to have an experienced coach helping me coach is really helpful.
So, okay, so you're coaching at Mammoth Strength and Fitness.
Yeah.
How many of the grappling students are current strength and fitness students?
All of them.
Okay, so I'm curious about this. How weird is that? I mean, like, we get guys and they maybe have never done anything else athletic in their life.
Yeah.
They're definitely not optimizing their strength and fitness in a lot of cases. Like, how different is it when you got these guys who are like spending a lot of time deadlifting and shit?
They pick up the techniques so quickly.
Okay.
So quickly.
I believe that.
I don't know if it's kinesthetic awareness, or I don't know if it's that it's because they're stronger, thus it requires less effort for them to move their bodies through space, but they just seem to get it faster. And of course, they're like, you know, their bridge is really strong. Their hips move really far left and right. So it's been a really cool experience to work with these guys and see like people who are a little more athletic, what they can do and how quickly they can pick up the techniques.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So have we talked on podcasts about Mammoth before?
I don't think so.
Tell us a little bit about your experience living in Mammoth. I think we got a spot on the lens too. So
Okay.
just kind of tell us about moving to Mammoth and everything while I try to get rid of this.
Gotcha.
Maybe that's not going to work.
No.
Okay,
so Mammoth is a
bitch or
small
something.
ski town in Northern California. It has a pretty small population. I've been told around 4,000 people. I guess the town originally was really well known for the skiing, but as it turns out, it's an amazingly beautiful place that is a rich environment for rock climbing, downhill mountain biking,
Hippie ass.
a lot of hippie people, dirt biking. But yeah, I went out there because my friend is running a strength and conditioning facility, and it was a really good opportunity for me to take the internship and to live with him for free. And it's always been something that I've been interested in. So the town's been cool. It's small, very small. Everybody knows everybody, basically.
And you guys are at like 8,200 feet or
I
something.
think so, maybe a little less, but yeah, around then. It's really high up in the mountains. So hopefully the elevation's been good for me. I don't know.
Cardio gains.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you guys, how much of the strength conditioning stuff is like relevant to cardio? I mean, are they doing mainly strength stuff, or are they doing some like conditioning stuff in that sense? Or is it mainly like strength conditioning?
Yeah. So it's different for everybody. We have a wide variety of people training with us. We've got kind of like your everyday, just weekend warriors, people who want to stay in shape. And for those people, we split it, like they do their strength work and then we try to get them to do some conditioning. But we have some serious competitive athletes that train with us as well. And for those people, they're mainly there for the strength training and they kind of handle the conditioning on their own for the most part.
Okay, that makes
So,
sense.
yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. We're really serious about tailoring the training to each individual athlete and what they need. We're not a cookie cutter program at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So been doing that the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And then this last month you headed home to Dallas.
Yep.
And hung out there for a month, and you trained at Ground Kings.
Yeah.
With what's the name of the guy who runs it?
Julian Sanchez.
Julian Sanchez. And those guys have been like kind of kicking ass at some of the Nagas.
Totally.
And just talk about them, like what they're about, and kind of like your experience training with them.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I went down to Texas. That's where I'm from, to see some family. And of course, I wanted to train while I was there. I checked out a couple gi schools and wasn't really very happy with their schedule, their curriculum, and their prices. And I just so happened to find this school called Ground King online, and it said it was all no-gi, which is great for me. So I called the guy up, and he was super nice, but he said, just to let you know, like, we pretty much only do leg locks and wrestling. And I was like, awesome. I'll be there in 15 minutes. So I rolled up, and pretty much instantaneously, like, I knew this was going to be the place where I was going to train for a month. He has a big team and like a wide variety of skill levels and sizes of people. He's got a bunch of badass chicks, and he's just a really good coach. Like, he's fostered a really good team atmosphere, and his guys and girls train really hard.
And where's his lineage come from again?
I have no idea.
Didn't he like his coach or somebody like train under Riley Bodycomb?
I think he himself trained under Riley Bodycomb.
A little bit.
Yeah. I don't know for how long, but I believe that he trained under Riley, and I know he wrestled in high school, and that's honestly all I know about him.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. But basically, like, they do focus on leg locks a lot, and I have to say that, like, their game is really, really cool, really deep. They focus on the chains and the transitions. Kind of their motto is that if you know the submission chains and the transitional progression better than your opponent, then you're going to win, because you're basically going to race them to a position of dominance in an area that they're unfamiliar with. So it was cool. It was kind of a different take, and I feel like I learned a lot.
It was really interesting hearing you describe like sort of their philosophy on grappling competition, because it seems like they're like very highly algorithmic, right?
Yes.
Like they have a flow chart, and they like analyze a scenario, decide which scenario on the flow chart it is, and then they just kind of like they go down the flow chart.
Yes.
It sounded like.
Yes.
Which is a really interesting approach, because we do at our gym, it's more like we're like teaching all these different things, and we're like, pick your arrow out of the quiver, but these guys are more, they have like a set path they're trying to go down, right?
So for instance, when you start off with a guy, if he has his left foot forward, you're hitting takedowns A and B. And if he has his right foot forward, you're hitting takedowns C and D. And you do not deviate from that, because there's only so many training hours in a day, in a week, in a month. So you have your takedowns or your entries and your techniques that are based off your opponent's positions. And they have a system for everything. Like, they have a system for X guard. They have a system for leg locks. They have a system for this and for that. And it's pretty regimented in terms of where you go based off your opponent's reactions. Very much so a flow chart, for sure.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
God, because you like, I've never even like maybe I've heard the name of this gym before, but it's like definitely what they're doing is not in the public domain. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody doing the stuff that they're doing so systematically like that.
Yeah. Me either.
Yeah, what you brought up and taught us was really cool. It was different. It was different in the same, like, and it was just kind of new. And we just had you come in like that first night and just teach it, and it was like guys were. I don't know if guys were surprised that we were having you teach this stuff, but it was like I was explaining to Chris and Nate the next time. I was like, that's how you get new moves, is like somebody now is like either you're like the instructor learns them online or out of a book or goes to a seminar or whatever, or somebody goes somewhere for a month and comes back and like teaches you. And, and it's like, we gotta freshen up, like me and Jack have been doing, the same stuff for, like we kind of like run in cycles of like, it seems like 3 or 4 years.
Yes. And
then like, we're constantly trying to add new things, but it seems like the last, like, at least maybe just for me personally, like the last like 3 or 4 years, kind of getting in a rut of the same
Gotcha.
things, same things, like same methodology when I go through my moves or how I think about grappling. And then, it's like when you bring in, it's like kind of like almost a new system, especially on leg locks. And I think that's where there's been the most innovation in grappling in general least from our perspective, is like the new leg lock stuff coming out, and it's still not widely known, but it's like the new positions and ways they're going to, especially inside heel hooks in general, is so it's really fascinating. It's kind of, and when I saw that last night, it was I never even would have thought of the way that they're doing it, but it makes sense.
Yeah. It's so much more sophisticated, the approach they're taking to getting to what they view as like the optimal position to hit the inside heel hook. It's like, it's so much more sophisticated the way they're laying traps and putting this bait out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
that was the big thing that I noticed with this guy, Julian, is that he is very, very into the bait and trap system. Like he's a smaller guy, you know?
Okay.
I think he's at most 150. He competes at 135. So
Okay.
he rolls with a lot of bigger guys all the time. And his game is 100% based off your opponent's reaction. Like,
wow.
He's looking for what you're going to do, and he's counting on him knowing the pathways better than you and then beating you to a dominant position based off your predictable reactions.
You know, it's kind of funny. When you said that, I said, wow. And then the next thought in my mind was, isn't that what everybody should be doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I was kind of like,
yeah.
Wow, it's an interesting comment. And I was like, aspirationally, I mean, everybody should be doing that,
Yeah.
but he's doing it with leg locks.
Yeah, and deep down the chain.
Yeah, it's a very predictive model he's using. He's like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna put a little bait out there and make them do this, and then I'm gonna go here. And I mean, those words could describe basically every leg lock system anybody's ever laid out there. But what he's doing is a lot more sophisticated.
That's good.
Yeah, no, I'm a big believer in the deception aspect of techniques.
It's underutilized in grappling.
Yeah.
It's underutilized, man.
I like it because when you're using deception, and it's all like a big setup, and that you don't. I mean, you still have to use speed and strength, but I think less so. Like I always talk about it with takedowns. When I'm teaching takedowns, is I was never the fastest guy, so I always had to make sure my setups were really good.
Got it.
And it's like I'm like a huge believer in like deception, and it's just like you're just kind of like pulling the puppet strings until it's time. So I think it's like I think it's really cool that they're using bait system for leg locks.
I've had it described to me as like the difference between intermediate and an advanced grappler is an intermediate grappler forces his moves on you one at a time, like blunt force trauma. And then an advanced grappler is setting up counters and recounters and baits so that he doesn't have to use so much energy until the moves don't come so predictably. And I think that's like the ideal essence of making your moves work. Countering and recountering.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. It's so interesting. It's like, I think everybody has their own little traps. Like there's certain things they do. They're like, I'm going to go to side control. And then when I get in side control, I'm going to do this. So the guy does this.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's like, you don't run into, and it's maybe you could say that like getting better at grappling is like collecting all those little traps.
Okay.
But it's super easy to fall into the thing, like describing, like BJ Penn would say, like, oh, okay, like this is a move. You're just going to shove down.
Yeah.
And there's like zero deception. So I wonder how people really pay attention as they get better to how much they're like laying these little traps and creating this deception.
I'm sure.
You know? And because I mean, you could be like, you could say like, okay, I'm just going to be like BJ. I'm going to, not that BJ doesn't use deception, but based on like what if is, you could say like, I'm going to get so good at this move, these guys aren't going to be able to stop it, even though they know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, people always say that about good grapplers. It was like, I knew what he's doing, but he did it anyways.
Yeah.
And that's like one model you go after, whereas the deception model is something completely different, right?
Well, so I read Marcelo's book, The X Guard, and Marcelo says that for him, grappling was obviously an obsession, but for him, grappling was an obsession with moves. And when he started, he was obsessed with the triangle, and then eventually he became obsessed with the X Guard. And he said what happened is he was so obsessed with the X Guard, and he played with it so much that he came to know every conceivable intelligent reaction that the opponent could give him. And he basically invented or took a counter for every single reaction. So that when he would compete, there was nothing that his opponents could do that he hadn't drilled a million times. He was always one step ahead. He was always baiting them for a reaction and then beating them to the punch.
I imagine this is what married guys do when trying to have sex with their wives. You know what I mean?
Figuring out different traps.
It's like, they've heard it all. First they're like, headache. How do I deal with this headache thing? You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
It's like,
And they're like, okay, I grind up an aspirin 6 hours ago for a drink. And then I put sex 6 hours later. So then you have the headache, and you're like, oh, girl, there was 5 aspirins in your drink 6 hours ago. You don't have a headache,
yeah.
right? I mean,
I never thought about that.
That's what Marcelo was doing with the X card.
I never thought about that. You guys in serious relationships have a lot more experience with that than I do, apparently.
You ever ground up aspirins?
No, not yet. My relationships tend to be short and filled with pain. So
What about Plan B pill?
Plan B
Surely you
pill.
ground that up in s'more juice.
No, I keep those on stock at my apartment.
Gag them down?
No, they're usually down. They don't want to have my kids.
Like,
Nobody wants these genes.
they don't want ginger babies.
No. Once they meet my family, they're like, "Oh fuck, Plan B, definitely."
How
Yeah.
tall are you, Ty?
I'm 6'4".
Dude, there's a lot of chicks. There's a lot of chicks who are like basically trolling for tall dudes. You know what
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Tall, fit dudes.
I'm not the best looking guy in the world. I think I get by a lot on my height and then my personality because that's about all I have to offer. So it's good.
He's like, you see that? And when he said height, he looked down.
He's like,
He's like, height. And then he looked down.
dude, I've seen you in your spats, dude. You're not fooling anybody.
It's true. What can I say? I'm fully loaded. I'm 6'4". I can't help it.
Yeah.
Anyways, next topic. Gentlemen, please.
Okay, so anyways,
Yeah.
we've got deception versus forcing it down their throat. And it's kind of interesting because, like, I hear some grapplers and they
That's
talk
sick.
about their idols and they're like, this guy could do anything. He could tell you what he's going to do and still do it. And then you got these sneaky guys. I think the future's got to be the sneakiness, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's got to be the
Totally.
sneakiness. Because the other one, it seems like no matter how you cut it, the other one's got to be attribute driven,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I got a good lesson in like attribute driven grappling when I was there. Like I said, this guy Julian's like 135, maybe 145, and I'm almost 200 pounds now. And not that I would think that there is any way on this planet that I could sub him because he has so much more experience than me. But I was blown away by his just his defensive abilities. Like he knew what moves I was going to be trying to do based on my body position before I could even think of the moves. And his defense was perfect. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah, I learned a lot through rolling with him, both on the offensive and the defensive side. And I learned that, like, you know, attributes really don't matter so much in the face of superior knowledge.
That's an awesome experience. I think everybody should roll with somebody early on in their, like, not for you, you're not necessarily early on, but everybody should roll with somebody who's like much smaller than them, who kicks their ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was a great
good
experience. You had a similar experience, Pat, right? When you went to train with Sim at
Yeah.
Cobra Kai?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've talked about that ad nauseum on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
No, I've definitely had my ass kicked multiple times by guys who are much, much smaller than I am.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know.
If you're going through Vegas, go train with Simgo and Gracie McNeese and the rest of that whole crew at Cobra Kai.
Definitely.
You'll have a good time. Well, maybe not a good time, but you'll have a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, their practices. I think I've talked about it before. Their practices are 1 hour long, and the first half hour is dedicated to technique, and then the last half hour is rolling, and it's like 5-minute round after 5-minute round. I mean, it goes a little bit long, but it was like we did 2 practices in one day, and I was roached. Like I was so passionate.
At the end,
Yeah, and I was like, I was shocked. I was like, what? The classes are only an hour long. It was really. They might have changed.
So it was
but
intense.
It was. Oh yeah, the whole way through.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
great workout. Great
Yeah.
workout. So
even their girls will go after you.
Yeah. I had the same experience in Texas. This guy Julian's got
You
some
said
really
a bunch
badass
of girls,
chicks.
right?
Yeah. They have like 5 or 6 chicks, and they're all good. I think 1 or maybe even 2 of them is like a pro MMA fighter.
Really?
Like, yeah, they're
No.
badass, and like they train hard. Everybody there trains super
Did
hard.
they wear the grappling tights?
No, I was the only one wearing the grappling tights.
The
I don't
girls
know. I don't know
wear-
what happened with
It's
that.
it's
The
my
girls just wear shorts, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
it's my favorite when the girls wear the grappling tights.
Pat, is that
Oh,
why you
yeah.
became a grappling coach?
Exactly. No, that's my favorite. Is when
I'm in
they
it
come
for the
in-
tights.
They come in, they're wearing the grappling tights.
And then grappling's like
And I'm like,
99.9% dudes.
as
So
soon
it
as-
says a lot about you.
Yeah, no. As soon as they're wearing the grappling tights, I'm like, I know why you're here.
I know why you're here. Pat, maybe they're just there to learn to choke people.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There's definitely a certain species of female who loves to be in these like all male environments, especially these like combat sports
Oh,
environments.
dude, climbing, absolutely. There are many girls who are so happy to be females in the climbing community.
Yeah.
So happy.
No,
I'll bet.
there's girls.
I'll bet, man.
It's the same in grappling. There's some
Yeah.
girls, and they really like it that they're like the only woman in there, and they have everyone's attention.
A normal 6 is like a grappling 9.5.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
So it's
Totally.
like it's
9.5.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's great. It's
Yeah.
great for them.
Yeah,
It's
they
great
love
for
it.
them, right?
It's true.
And it's like if a girl is like absurdly tall or absurdly short, she's gonna be on her back most of the time anyways. So nobody's gonna notice.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. Good call. Good call.
You
I
know what
like
I
short
mean?
girls though. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It's weird.
certainly my track record wouldn't allow me to say anything negative about short girls.
anyways, when I was down in Texas, I was very fortunate. I got to go to Naga, Dallas, and I couldn't compete because I had LASIK literally one day before.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
How's it guys?
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
See, Pat.
It's amazing.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fuck
I,
yeah.
I want PRK though.
That's painful,
Dude,
Yeah,
That's what I got.
So-
That's
PRK
is super
PRK
painful.
is more expensive.
So
and it's
listen,
a longer
listen.
recovery.
my buddy is going into the Air Force. He's going to be flying planes.
Yeah, but he's not going to be having head trauma.
No, but he said that now they're saying that LASIK is fine to withstand the gravitational forces inside of an
Okay.
airplane.
Okay, I'm interested
So,
now. I'm
so
listening.
he told me he got LASIK because that's what they told him to get. He told me to get LASIK. I got
Yeah.
LASIK. I didn't have any problems.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't have any problems yet.
So we've talked about this before on the podcast, but basically, like LASIK surgery is an eye surgery where they cut a flap on the front of your eye, basically, and then they go into the laser and they'll basically burn down your eye till it meets the refractive dimensions that will make your vision better. With PRK, what they do is they cut that entire flap off, they remove it, and then they laser down your eye. And then those epithelial cells outside your eye have to grow back over the part they cut off, right? So the reason PRK surgery still exists is because some people are afraid that the flap might get dislodged
Yeah.
through contact. So
Like, for instance, while grappling.
while grappling. So it's kind of interesting because a lot of people up here have LASIK, don't have any problems. But one of our buddies, maybe we shouldn't say his name because I think he wants to fight soon.
Fair enough.
And anyways, he got LASIK surgery, and he came to a party in this very room. He got in LASIK a
In the
week
studio.
earlier. Yeah, in the studio.
In the studio.
In the studio in Santa Fe, New Mexico. That's why this couch is Santa Fe style. But anyways,
Southwestern.
yeah, he came here and he'd gotten LASIK a week earlier, and then he decided to go do Muay Thai, and he got punched in the damn eye, and I believe it dislodged the flap. He was having mad eye trouble.
I could see that, yeah. With the glove and the leather really grippy.
You probably shouldn't do Muay Thai
So-
like 5 days after LASIK
Yeah,
surgery.
probably not.
So how was it like the next day and like
Yeah,
the
take
following
us through the
week?
LASIK
Like,
surgery.
yeah,
Okay,
how was the
okay.
recovery?
So I mean, I'm really lucky. I went to the Climb and Evangelista Eye Center, and my parents helped me out with the surgery because my dad had it, and he's a big believer in it. My little brothers had it, so I was kind of the last in line, and I was pretty nervous about it, so I'm glad I waited. But the people at Climb and Evangelista like walked me through the whole procedure, and as it turns out, it takes 5 minutes. It's uncomfortable, but it's not painful. I woke up the next day, and I've heard people have trouble with like dry eyes, but I've really had almost no problems. My vision was really, really good the next day. And I think part of that is that I got it done in Texas, in Dallas, which is a relatively humid environment. So I wonder if that helps with the dry eye issue. Possible. I don't know. It's probably bullshit.
Do you use drops?
No.
No drops.
No drops.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's been amazing. And I'm super glad I got it done because rolling with contacts has been a bitch, and then having to like keep track of glasses and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So it's been an amazing experience, and I'm super glad I got it because I got to see Naga with HD, which was pretty cool.
So do you got to go back in for a checkup?
Yeah. So I went in a week later, and I got a checkup, and they said everything was looking really good. And what's really cool, and I'm sure this is standard, but at the place that I went, the Climate Evangelista, they gave me 2 years to make adjustments. So, yeah, I'm just going to basically keep an eye on my vision and see how it progresses. But thus far, I love it.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, because like his ass, when he got PRK done,
PRK.
it was like he had to do these drops, you know.
It's like 20 drops a day.
20 drops a day for, you know, like forever.
Yeah.
And then he was going in, having appointments, you know, he had an appointment the day after, then he had an appointment that week. And then it was, you know, he's having appointments once a week, then once a month. And
Jesus.
It was like a really long process.
That's pretty gnarly.
So the best part about PRK is, so the epithelial cells are growing back over the part that cut off your eye, right? So sometimes newly formed cells, when you wake up in the morning, right? So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you throw your eyes open like this. Sometimes those epithelial cells stick to your eyelid. So first thing you experience, you throw your eyelid open and it tears the epithelial cells off your eyeball. And it is
insanely painful
and intense pain, but you're not really conscious. Like you just threw your eyelid open. So all of a sudden, like, it's always one of your eyes, right? So
you wake up to blinding pain.
Yeah. So one of your eyes is just like fucking sting.
That'll kill your morning boner immediately.
It's like if you have morning wood, it's like imagine you have morning wood and then a scorpion stings you in the eye.
Which is a complete waste of the morning wood, which is about the best thing about being a man, period.
Nothing about a scorpion stinger enhances morning wood.
Gotcha.
That's what I learned from PRK.
You're not having any sex in the morning.
But there's no flap in PRK, so you're 100% stable. It's way harder recovery, though.
I mean, you know, like I talked to my buddy who is going into the Air Force, and he highly recommended the LASIK. I talked to my doctor. I told him, like, I'm into wrestling, submission grappling, and he said, well, what he told me is that I can't train for a month, which we all know.
You violated it.
Not going to happen.
You totally violated it.
I violated it 1 week. I did wait a week. I waited a week.
You waited 1 week.
I waited a week. I'm sorry, Dr. Sam. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Apologize.
I waited a week. I felt like that was sufficient.
Dude.
But to be perfectly honest, like last night, I had this horrible nightmare about looking in the mirror and seeing my flap like all fucking sticking out and dried up. It was pretty gnarly. It was gnarly.
Oh my God.
I do worry about it a little bit, but I mean, I got smashed on in Texas by some serious beast, and I didn't have a problem with it. And I've been getting roughed up by these gentlemen and their students here, and it's not been an issue.
Oh, you're talking about grappling?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's a girl.
No.
Big
I'm not into big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's fine.
So what if you meet? Okay. Who's the hottest chick to you? Who's the hottest chick on the face of the earth?
On the planet?
On the planet, to you.
Oh, I'm really into Jennifer Lawrence for some reason. And I don't know if that's like some sort of weird celebrity fetish thing or if it's because of the fappening.
So
I don't really know what
I was going to say, so when the fappening came out, was that like just like gold mine?
So when the fappening came out, I had a lot of different feelings. Like I felt bad for these celebrities that No, I did. No. I really did. No, I really did. I did. I felt bad that anyone's personal photos were going to be exposed like that because I try to be pretty careful with like my online presence, but at the same time, I'm really into Jennifer Lawrence. So to be perfectly honest, I'm going to be completely real. I looked at Jennifer Lawrence's photos and then I didn't look at anything else. And that was it. That was the end of my fappening experience.
So
I just wanted to see Jennifer Lawrence because I think she's an unbelievably beautiful woman. And I wanted to see what she looked like without her clothes.
You are an unbelievable liar.
No. It's true.
You only looked at one celebrity.
I looked at one celebrity. That was all I needed.
So did you see the full file of hers? It was like 128 photos.
128 photos. No,
Oh,
I saw
dude,
like
yeah.
12.
Oh no, there's like 128 of them.
Wow, there's so many.
No,
There's
Yeah,
so
no,
many.
you
no.
got to go back.
What?
Okay.
Just 128?
Yeah, there's like 128.
I gotta
of
go
hers.
back.
So-
I'm sorry, Jennifer.
okay.
I gotta go back.
So, okay, where I was going with that is, okay, let's say you have to fly somewhere, right? You have to fly back to
Sure.
whatever airport you fly to go to Mammoth if you were going to fly, and
You
run
don't.
into Jennifer
you don't.
Lawrence.
It's a death zone.
Okay, let's say you're flying somewhere, you run into Jennifer Lawrence in the airport.
Yeah.
And she's at some little bar and nobody recognizes her but you. And she's like, listen, my life is really busy. I really just need you to take me into the men's room right now. And you're like, okay, down, right?
Of course.
So you take Jennifer Lawrence into stall number 3.
The handicap stall. The handicap.
He has the bar.
It's Jennifer Lawrence. You need the bar and the room.
It's the handicapable bathroom.
And you need the bar in the room, and probably there's extra rolls in there. You need a lot of stuff. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
Jennifer fucking Lawrence.
Yeah.
So you take her in there, and like you start going at it. Like she just lets you go right to it. But
This podcast.
but she's like,
Jack
okay,
didn't eat anything. I started drinking, dude.
no. Hear me out.
Okay, go
Hear me
for
out.
it. Go for it. I want to
So,
know. I want to know where the
This is
fuck
what
you
started
go
all
with
the
this.
caffeine talk. So Jennifer Lawrence is like, okay, like, listen, my thing is, I feel like I need to, like, in order to experience the full pleasure of the situation, I need to lightly gouge your eyes.
Oh,
No damage, just lightly gouge
but
them.
he's got the LASIK. So
You got lazy. You get away with the flap. So I mean, Jennifer's like in there, just like she's like Hunger Games. I'm so hungry, and she's just like lightly gouging. Which for a normal guy would be okay. If you had PRK, you'd be okay. But you got LASIK, she might be on the flap.
Well,
like her fingernails on the flap.
It all
They're
depends.
nice fingernails,
Like,
finely manicured.
is it within 2 years of my surgery? That's the question I have to ask you. Because if it's within 2 years, I'm in. 100%, I'm in. But if it's not within 2 years, Jennifer, are you going to pay for my surgery? I know you're a multi-millionaire.
it. You're saving.
Yeah, they'll adjust it. They'll adjust it. So if it's within the adjustment period, yes. If she'll pay for the damage, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, she might say, Ty, I'll pay for it, of course. You're a rodeo guy. I'll pay for your surgery.
You're a rodeo guy.
But I mean, she's just hopping on the flight, so you don't know. It's Jennifer Lawrence.
To be
You might never
perfectly
see her again.
honest-
It's Jennifer Lawrence.
For the money that it was worth, I would say yes, it's worth it.
You would let Jennifer Lawrence gouge your eyes with LASIK on your LASIK flap.
That'd probably make me come quicker.
Oh, absolutely.
The intense pain.
Yeah, the
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
worth
that's
it. It's
fair.
worth it. It's worth it.
Okay,
I say it's worth it. I think
Ah!
I think Jennifer Lawrence is one of the most beautiful people that's
Oh my god.
ever been made on the planet. So I'm saying it's worth it.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Wow. Where did you first see Jennifer Lawrence?
Ooh, I don't know. On the internet, probably, like everybody else.
The fapping.
No. Way before that. Way before that. I don't know. I don't know what the first film I saw her in. I really liked her in Silver Lining Playbook. I thought the movie was good, and she was very.
That was after the first.
very
Hunger
attractive.
Games, though.
Yeah, that's probably true. But I probably saw the first Hunger Games way after it came out. I think the Hunger Games fucking sucks, to be perfectly honest with you.
All right.
I think Hunger Games sucks. I think Twilight fucking sucks.
What about Divergence?
Divergence, never saw it.
Okay. Divergent.
Divergent, never saw it.
All right.
There's a lot of movies that
You're
fucking
not-
suck.
You're not into movies.
No, I am into movies, but I live in Mammoth, and there's one movie theater. It plays
Yeah.
2 movies at a time.
Oh, really?
One is a children's movie. One is an adult movie. They cost $12 a piece.
Really?
We don't go to the movies. No.
Don't you just like stream everything online like?
Well,
everyone
we don't
else?
have the internet, so
You got it now though.
Oh, I got it now. Yeah, fuck yeah.
You
I'm
got
going back to
internet
Mammoth
at the
tomorrow.
gym?
I got the internet. I'm psyched. I
Yeah.
can look at the fappening again.
What if you live in the van though?
I won't.
You
No.
won't live in the van.
I won't live in the
full-time?
van. No, not full time.
No. All right.
No, not full time. I'm going to spend part time in the van. There's a lot of people in Mammoth who are van dwellers because Mammoth is a gigantic, well, not Mammoth itself.
Would you say their Instagram name acronyms would tend to
No,
be
no.
I bypassed a very good joke
so-
earlier based on that.
So,
Same concept.
Mammoth Lakes is very close to Bishop, California, and Bishop, California is a mecca for rock climbing in the U.S. I mean, Bishop, California is one of the best rock climbing destinations on the planet. So there are a lot of people that live in their vans in and around Mammoth and in and around Bishop. Just to be clear, I'm not living in the van. I'm living with my buddy Ian. Nothing freaky's going on.
We're talking full foundation, walls,
Yes.
and roof. Non-automotive.
Absolutely, not automotive. 100%. I have a home, people.
A real joint. That's pretty good. Okay.
Okay, so what else you got for me?
Okay, so you go. Okay, I assume you have been to a bar in Mammoth.
I have been to multiple bars in Mammoth, yes.
Okay, and it's a mountain town, so I'm just gonna assume,
That 95% of the people are male? Yes,
Okay.
you're correct.
right?
You're correct, Jack.
Guys in the East probably don't realize this, but when you go to a mountain town in the West, it's not like going to Stowe, Vermont.
You know,
It's not full of.
Stowe, Vermont. I've never even
it's
heard
not
of
full of
that.
snow bunnies.
Oh my god.
Snow bunnies. I would love to see
so-
some fucking snow bunnies.
There's no snow
Okay,
bunnies.
anyways.
That's a fallacy.
When you go, okay.
Fallacy, yes.
When you go into a bar though, so you're obviously like, interested in what's going on in there. If there is a target in the bar, what is she like in Mammoth? Some chick you'd like to hang out with a little bit. that you
Well,
see.
okay, so I'm not well qualified to answer this question because I haven't been there during the season.
It has a name.
Oh yeah,
There's a
it's-
special part of the season that has a name, right? In Mammoth?
there's a special part of the season. It's directly following Thanksgiving, and it's called Shark Week. Shark Week is when all of the new blood, so to speak, the new ski instructors move to town. Mammoth is supposed to be, during a good snow year, one of the biggest and best skiing destinations in the entire world. So a tremendous amount of young, attractive.
Doesn't even come close
Wait,
to
no.
us.
what is
Hang
this
on.
based on? What is
Easy
this based on?
there. Okay,
Biggest
okay,
and best
hang on.
ski district to us?
So okay, we'll diverge.
Can't
We'll
even-
come back
you
around.
can't-
Okay, we'll
Anyways.
revisit that.
Anyways, Shark Week is when all the new girls come to town. It's when all the locals are looking to get laid and or establish girlfriends. Anyways, so the reason that Mammoth is
Busted
supposed to
all
be
kinds of nuts.
one of the best ski destinations in the U.S.
Pecans,
Slash the
almonds,
world.
walnuts.
is because of
Busted
the wind
all the
buff.
nuts.
Are you guys familiar with wind buff?
Oh, okay. So this is actually kind of interesting. So we experienced this a little bit in for me, when I think of this concept, I always think of mineral basin on the backside of Snowbird. But describe this for the people who don't know.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not a skier, so you guys can correct me.
No,
But-
you get what it is, though. I've heard you talk about
The
it.
way I understand it is that the wind buff is when the wind is so high that it blows the snow into the tracks of the already skied out areas of the mountain, thus basically refilling the fresh powder without there actually having to be more snow. So Mammoth Lakes is extremely high elevation in an extremely windy area. So the wind buff is very, very strong. There's a lot of locals who live there specifically for the wind buff. And they say that although the snow isn't nearly as dry as it is in Utah, it's amazing. And Pat is bored with this ski
Okay,
conversation.
okay.
So
So
we're going to talk about Naga, Utah now.
we took third at Naga, Utah. We took third.
And I was there.
You want to hold it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we were all there. So we took third at Naga, Utah.
Which is amazing because you guys
Yeah.
are a seriously small school.
Yeah, we were a 2-year-old school at that time. I think
And you don't have that many members.
I think the month that this happened, we had. Maybe I shouldn't even say how many paying members we had because
No. Say it. Lay
no,
it down.
I mean, the important thing is we're a very small school. How many square feet are we? Like 420 square
Yeah.
feet.
420.
Micro gym. We're the
420
we're
is
the
my
pioneers of the
is my
micro
magic
gym.
number.
Yeah,
Just
We're
so
the
we're clear.
innovators and the pioneers of the micro gym.
yeah. We've talked about this a little bit online before, but we're what would you call a micro gym? Like if you started a gym in the smallest possible space, that's not a residential garage, an actual commercial space. Like we're it. But and there's a lot of gyms in Salt Lake. Like there's a lot of
there's-
jiu-jitsu gyms.
There's a lot
MMA
of gyms in Utah.
And,
A lot of gyms going out of business too.
Ooh,
That's
that's a good point.
That's true.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. But anyways, we're very proud of our guys. Like how many guys we have compete? Like a dozen?
Oh my god,
15?
you had like 13 at that competition.
Yeah, we had a huge number of our guys compete. It's like
Maybe
like
10.
No.
Okay.
You had 13, I
Really?
think, compete and 10 medal.
yeah,
Really?
I think
Yes.
I think that's
Okay.
actually correct.
You're the worst coach ever. You don't know
I was
anything.
running around. I didn't even compete that day.
Yeah.
But like I was saying,
I was trying to coach and compete.
that was the
It was
weirdest.
fucked
That
up.
was
I
the
competed.
weirdest. That
You
was
did
the weirdest
compete.
experience. Because normally, me and Jack always compete at all the tournaments.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time that I went to a competition, didn't compete,
That's true.
and I was
Yeah.
That's
just
true.
coaching.
Yeah.
And it was really weird.
Was it pretty hectic?
Yeah, it was super hectic. I was running around from mat to mat trying to like coach everybody, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, damn, I've been selfish all these years, just like, because like there's been so many times when I was competing or I was getting ready for a match about to go on, I was like on deck,
Yeah, that's true.
and somebody would have a match and they wouldn't have anybody to coach them.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like, I've been kind of a dick all this time.
So I do want
Yeah.
to say real quick. So I never got to get to this. I went to Naga Salt Lake or Naga Dallas, and first of all, the tournament was huge, but Ground King dominated, which I expected them to. But the thing that I was really impressed with is that Ground King Jiu-Jitsu is very, very organized. The head coach, Julian Sanchez, has multiple assistant coaches under him. And when they went to the tournaments, he had these assistant coaches, and they were very serious about making sure that his guys weighed in on time. They were at the right mat. They had water. They had their game plan, all of these various things. And so he split his attention with these assistant coaches and made sure that everybody always had somebody coaching them at all times. I was very impressed with the organization.
That felt accusatory when you looked at me and said,
No.
You had a water.
No.
I was like,
No.
Does Ty not have a water? Is he accusing me of not providing
No.
H2O?
First,
I'm just kidding, bro.
First,
I'm just kidding.
Naga, Utah was very disorganized.
It was very
Sorry.
disorganized.
Sorry,
It was very disorganized.
Sorry, Kip Kohler.
Yep,
but
sorry.
Nobody knew where their mats were.
It
We
was
had dudes who
unorganized
missed
as fuck.
We had dudes who missed out on their entire divisions because they never got called up. Their weights never got called. It was
You didn't have a
We had a guy-
microphone, man.
we had a-
What the
we had-
fuck?
We had a guy who weighed in at like 185, and they put him in the 145 division. So that got all screwed up.
It was fucked up.
And
Yeah.
it was all fucked up.
But
So
yeah, we didn't score any points. Just to be clear though, we did not score any points off shit like that. Like we didn't have a. I don't want people to say that we had a 185 guy in the
No.
145 division.
No, he
scoring
didn't
points.
No.
He didn't
He didn't actually
He didn't-
compete in that
he didn't
division.
compete in that
Obviously,
division, no.
Yeah, obviously.
No, they had him wrestle back with the guys in the 185 division.
Yeah.
And they got it worked out, but it was just like it was complete and utter horseshit the way they got people to their mats.
It was especially tough for me
Yeah.
because my buddy Ian came down, and it was his first competition ever.
Second-
I'm technically his coach, and I'm still a newer grappler. So I'm trying to coach my buddy through his first competition while competing. They're calling me while he's competing,
Yeah.
but I'm waiting an hour. It was very confusing. It was very frustrating. I mean, I know running a tournament is hard, but that tournament was extremely disorganized.
Yeah. Second, we will never have any assistant coaches because we won't give up creative control.
You guys are freaks. What do you got there, Jack?
Okay, so we've got a bottle of wine here provided by Mr. Christopher Morostica. And I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but
Why
it's
not?
something very unusual.
Would you please?
'Cause if I said the name, it sounds like Ving Rames
Oh man, it's gay as fuck.
coming to.
Okay,
Yeah,
Just-
you know why. You know why.
and not that there's anything wrong with that. I have a lot of gay friends,
I love Ving Rames.
and I love Ving Rames.
I just want like a couple fingers.
I'm sure you do, Pat.
All right, that's good. Of
I'm
Ving
sure
Rhames.
you do.
I just want a couple fingers. Of
So
Ving Rhames.
I've always wondered why I've been on the podcast 3
oh
times.
god, that is the worst wine.
And the
ever.
podcast is named Whiskey and Chokes, but I've never had any whiskey with these guys. I feel like
You
they're
have
fucking
today.
holding out.
You
with
have
me.
today.
I don't know that Brian's, which is a generic Bailey's, counts as whiskey.
Ryan's is authentic Irish cream and
Jesus.
Irish whiskey and Ty's
Jesus.
complaining.
Jeez, no, I'm
Actually-
not complaining. I'm just wondering why. Because I know that you guys are whiskey aficionados, and I know that you know a
We
lot
just-
about
okay,
whiskey.
okay.
Here's
but
why.
interestingly,
Okay,
you
let-
don't share
let
it with
The
me.
timing of your comment. The
Let
timing
me-
of your comment
yeah.
is important.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Okay.
explain why we're not
Please.
drinking whiskey
All
tonight.
right, so
It's
There's
Oh,
just-
this is
just
the
this
worst
last-
wine I've ever
just
had
this
in my
la-
life.
Just this last weekend, we had a devious guy orchestrate what he called a Scotch tasting party. To course,
he's an evil
correspond-
genius.
He's an evil genius.
Evil genius.
Devious.
To,
He is.
to correspond with the John Jones Daniel Cormier fight.
which ended horribly.
Yeah. So, anyways, he like basically this was just so he could expand his Scotch collection. This dude has some like
He's a genius.
He already has a bunch of expensive bottles of scotches, like
Oh yeah.
all these scotch, and so he's like, I'm gonna have this party. He invites all these people, and like end of the night, this dude just ended up with like 10 new half full bottles of scotch. Is what the
It's
end
because you
result.
left him there. You should have
Yeah.
taken it with you.
No, that's not right.
But-
only assholes do.
So,
that.
so that you understand though, like, these were all scotches that were like, I mean, we're talking like $70 plus. So these are
Well, wait.
legit
So
scotches.
I'm not initiated with Scotch. So what are you talking about here? What are some different types of scotches that you're referencing?
Okay, there was a bottle of what do we got? There was a
Dude,
You guys were drunk as fuck.
No,
You can't
let us-
even
let us
remember.
think back.
Freud, there was Arbor,
Lafroig.
there was Balvenies, there was
18.
2 different Balvenies. There was, I mean, just
yeah.
fucking on and on and on.
The only
Yeah,
thing I know
there's-
is Belvedere 12 year.
That's
vodka, player.
Oh, fuck.
That's some
I
vodka.
don't even know.
Yeah.
That's actually a good looking bottle of vodka. I would say it's a good vodka, but
Is
basically
it Pendleton 12 year? Is that
That's-
whiskey?
that's whiskey.
I'm very
Yeah,
I'm very novice when it comes to whiskey.
Yeah, so vodka's made in the way you make vodka is you pack the stem of the still with like something like maybe
Potatoes.
like broken glass.
And then
Broken glass.
Yeah, it's really common. So
and then you have a bunch
it's
of
so
cum and
pure.
shit on it.
yeah, it's so pure so that it comes up and then it condenses on the broken glass and drips back down. and
Oh,
then
whoa.
it
Okay.
becomes gaseous
Okay.
again.
Okay.
Basically, like vodka is so pure, it's hard to say what the difference between like a Belvedere and
A Stoli.
yeah, Stoli is a whole topic of its own. Based on my dealings with expats from the Caucasus ex-Soviet republics.
Well, let's hear
But-
it because I'm very interested.
no, we've talked about it before, but
Oh, okay. Never mind.
basically,
We'll skip it.
yeah, vodka is an interesting topic because it's so pure. It's like arguing over the difference between pure and Brita water,
Oh, okay.
right? Like, what do you like better?
I mean, I drink tap water every day,
So do I.
but I buy a gallon of good water and then I refill it with tap water. So I feel like I'm splitting the difference.
See, that's the difference between like Belvedere
Okay.
and Grey Goose and
Okay.
Stoli, right?
Okay.
It's like it's so pure.
I'm with
It's
you.
like, you know,
And to be perfectly honest, the method that you guys taught me for drinking vodka the last time I was here, I don't know that I give a flying fuck about what type of vodka it is anymore. Do you care to expand on that and how that works physiologically? Because it's very interesting.
okay, we've also talked about this before, but
God damn it.
no. But so you're staying away from the plastic bottle vodka, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so anyways, so the whole thing Ty is talking about is if you so a lot of your sense of taste is your sense of smell, really.
The olfactory sense.
Yeah, so if you smell something, it's really similar to tasting it, only your brain can't interpret the difference really distinctly between taste and smell. So I had this buddy from Azerbaijan, which was an ex-Soviet republic, and he was like, okay, I go to his place one time and he's like, let's drink vodka. And I'm like, okay, are we chasing it? What are we doing here? And he's like, yeah, we're going to chase it. And so I go to the table and he's like, they're the chasers. And he's got a bunch of like non-liquid things. And I was like, these are chasers?
Chasers, non-liquid.
Yeah. And he's got like a bunch of stuff that's like has a strong smell to it, but not stuff you drink. So
Foodstuffs.
yeah,
Food
foodstuffs. So
Such as,
like
for instance,
weird pickled stuff, stuff that has
Okay.
strong,
Okay.
like strong smell. So he's like, I'm like, dude, we can't drink this as a chaser. And he's like, drink, it's a chaser. We're gonna smell it. And I was like, okay, show me. So we take a shot of vodka and he's like, smell this. So he hands me something. It was like a pickled, I can't remember what, but it had a strong smell to it. So I take the shot of vodka and he's like, okay, this is Stoli. We're drinking Western Stoli. This is not the same as the Stoli we have in
Oh,
the
really?
Soviet-
It's
Soviet
different.
Union. Yeah, he's like, it's different.
okay.
So we're drinking this Stoli. I take a shot of it and he hands me this thing. I smell it. And all of a sudden the aftertaste of the vodka, everything is gone.
Yes.
just like a chaser. And I realized that was when I realized like our sense of smell and taste are so muddled together in our minds that they're basically the same thing. Like if you smell something really strong after you take a shot of vodka, it's pretty much like taking a liquid chaser.
Absolutely. So I had the same experience. When I came and I competed for Naga SLC, my buddy Ian and I stayed here with Jack and Pat, and we decided to go out and celebrate. And before the celebration, we decided it would be a good idea to pregame, which is always a good money-saving strategy. But I told these guys I don't like vodka. I had some bad experiences with it when I was young. Like, I hate the aftertaste. And they provided me with this Russian method. And I was completely blown away and very concerned that me or my buddy Ian would become an alcoholic based on this method. But luckily that hasn't happened. But I had the same experience as Jack. I immediately realized how tied together the olfactory sense is with the sense of taste and how important those two things are. We were able to take shots of vodka and then smell garlic, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was just like a container of minced up garlic.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that what we had here?
It was
Yeah,
a
we had
plastic
it was
container of
like a
minced up
plastic
garlic.
container
Okay.
of minced up garlic.
Good example. Very good example.
Yeah. Which is by no means some sort of fancy olfactory deadener. But it provided us an ability to enjoy the vodka and really experience the fine taste of the vodka without being overwhelmed by the horrible alcohol
Here's what you need
taste.
to know about all liquor. You get about like 4 or 5 shots deep, and then it doesn't matter.
No, that's true.
You know the best, honestly, the best thing I've ever had with vodka though. This guy I knew, his name was Mikhail Garakovich. So he was from Brooklyn, but originally from Odessa, Ukraine, if I remember right.
Did he have blintzes?
No, he had something even better. So he flew back to Brooklyn and then decided to have a party in Virginia where we're all going to grad school. So he gets, whatever. I can't remember what the bottle of vodka was, but he gets there and he's like, we're throwing a party. So I'm like, okay, great. He's got like a bunch of bottles of like, middling vodka. And I'm like, oh God, like what is going to happen here? I see no chasing. There are no chasers. But goddamn Mikhail Garakovich, he's got the orange caviar and margarine. Margarine. So little did I know, if you take a nice baguette and slice that motherfucker up and put margarine on it and then throw the orange caviar on top, not the expensive black shit, not the beluga, the orange shit that you get at the normal, like Jewish Ukrainian,
The
Russian
normal Jewish
speaking
Ukrainian.
delis in Brooklyn. You throw that on a piece of baguette, which has margarine on it, and you throw that in your mouth after a shot of vodka. It's fucking amazing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
I'm sure.
amazing.
I'm sure. I have some Russian friends. I should talk to them about this.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
See what they know in terms of
Yeah, get
traditional
It might be
methodology.
might be even better with butter.
It probably
But the
is.
margarine was amazing.
Yeah, margarine I don't trust at all.
I just try it, man.
Okay.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Anyways,
So there's something with the caviar. The caviar and the vodka really goes well together. It sounds like
That
it's
makes
a weird
sense.
stereotype.
That
but
makes
That
sense.
works well together.
Yeah. I mean, it's a stereotype for a reason.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Next topic.
Okay. So Ty,
Yes, sir.
what are your plans for the future?
Oh.
Lay this on us. This is a big topic, but lay it on us.
This is a big topic. Okay. I'll kind of break it down for you guys.
This is a declaration of war.
This is a declaration of war. When I was younger, 14, I got into competitive rock climbing. I wanted to reach kind of the top of the heap, so to speak, and it didn't really happen. I've picked up numerous injuries, and along the way, I've always wanted to be involved with submission grappling. A couple years ago, I started training, and I immediately realized that this is the thing that I've been missing in my life. I started training with Jack and Pat a couple years ago, and it's been kind of full steam ahead since then. They've been super, super supportive of me and my aspirations, And they have told me 100% of the way that you have the skill and you have the talent and you just need to dedicate yourself.
Whoa.
Wait, why? Why are you backing it up now? It's too late. It's too late. Yeah. Basically, I've been into martial arts since I was a kid, and I was too afraid to get into it. And then I met these motherfuckers, and
You were a ninja, weren't you?
yeah, oh yeah, I was a ninja every year.
Did you have tabby boots?
And-
tabby boots?
They've supported me since the beginning. So I'm doing an internship in strength and conditioning in Mammoth Lakes,
Stars.
and the plan is to within a year move to LA and train somewhere in California. I want to be where the action is. I want to be where the competition is. I want to be where the best grapplers in the world are, and I want to see how I do against them. And I think that I can win. That's all there is to it.
Basically, where are all the dudes at?
Where all the dudes at?
Yeah, where are all the dudes at? That's gay as fuck. But yes, yeah, no. I mean, I've always been a competitor. I've always wanted to push myself. I've always believed in myself, and it's pretty amazing to have a group of people behind you that believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. So that's the plan. Move to California, train with the best, compete with the best, and see how far it takes me. That's all there is to it.
You're gonna make a go of it, huh?
Yeah, gonna make a go of it.
Yeah, like it's kind of. We've only really run into one other guy who really tried to do that, and it was Grayson.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
he's actually
That's
like
true.
he. He went down to Vegas and started training at Cobra Kai and moved down there, and
Drink?
Please.
he basically, he would have years where he'd like win, have years that he lost, but now he's like finally, he won Gracie Worlds.
He did. I saw that.
at like brown black
Yeah, oh,
combined
yeah.
division, and then
I mean, what is he? He's a purple belt, though.
he has pro belt.
Yeah.
He won at the Gracie Worlds brown black, and then he like got into a paid tournament, and like he's getting super fights now, so he's actually getting some success. He's been down there for what, 5 years, Jack? 4 years?
God, it sounds crazy
Four?
to say that, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, like maybe 4 years,
Yeah,
and
that sounds
so it's
right.
like, so he's just now starting to get into that, like,
Okay, like to
Whatever.
break into the top division.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so it's like you're probably looking at like bare minimum, 5 years.
Jesus, that's a long time,
of
Pat.
like,
That's a long time.
Toiling in the,
Totally,
the
yes.
gutter of grappling.
Making no money, working full time, training full
Yeah,
time.
no,
Yeah.
seriously.
Toilet,
Yeah.
Jaws, Cold Stone Creamery.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's like it's not a. Yeah, it's definitely It doesn't start off as like a huge moneymaker. You definitely have to go through a lot of discomfort and like sacrifice for a while before you get there. But it's like you just have to have a belief that there's something at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, and that kind of has been the thing for me. My uncle Earl is a black belt in judo and a black belt in jiu-jitsu now.
Dude,
And
you're a goddamn rodeo cowboy.
I'm
You have
a
an uncle
rodeo
named
cowboy.
Earl?
yeah, I have an uncle named Earl. My uncle Earl in Florida inspired in me the love for martial arts when I was very young. But I don't want to say unfortunately, but climbing had such a strong hold on my life that I couldn't tear myself away from it to start training earlier. I wish that I would have, because I feel like I've really found my passion in my community and the thing that I'm good at. But I guess, yeah, belief in yourself is all that really matters. And I think that I can compete at the top level. And I'm glad to have a team behind me that allows me to do that.
Plus, there's spandex.
Spandex. Oh, yeah. You can't
You're-
fucking win if you don't wear spandex.
Yeah.
That's all there is to
You're
it.
big on the tights.
Ty is kind of the tight king.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of the tight king.
That and the fancy rash guards.
The fancy rash guards. Well, I mean, the bottom line is that,
You might as well look cool, right?
well, above all
Yeah.
else, like I started training almost full time last year. And
Oh.
I don't make a lot of money, so I have to wear the same shit all the time. So
What little money you have, you spend on a few things.
yeah, absolutely. What little money I have went directly into tights and rash
To
guards.
Meerkat.
For sure. Yeah.
What's his real name? Simon Yang or something?
I have no idea what his real name is.
Simon Yang, how dare you take all of Ty's money?
Yeah.
How dare
Basically,
you?
like
No, I'm happy. Like maybe he'll sponsor me one day. I don't fucking know.
Ty is like kept Meerkatsu in business.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Single-handedly.
Simon.
Yeah, no, it's been a really amazing experience. Like to find a community that you connect with, and to find that a group of people that believe in you is really rare in your life. Like life fucking sucks. Sorry, all you young kids that are watching this podcast, but life fucking sucks. That's just the way it is. So to find a group of people that feel the same way that you do about really important issues, and to find a group of people that believe in you and support you in your goals is really fucking rare.
Well, wait a second, Ty. So, like, just take us through your day yesterday. Take us through your day.
Well,
He's basically on vacation.
Yeah,
He's on
yeah.
vacation,
I want to preface this with I'm
but
on
take
vacation.
us through the day and like, describe what parts were fun, what parts weren't fun. Just take us through the day.
Okay, so I'm in Salt Lake. I'm on vacation. I'm visiting friends. I don't live here. So I slept in, woke up late.
What time?
10.
Ballin'.
I played some video games with my friends, considering I live on their couch at the moment.
What did you play?
I played Hearthstone. It's a
What the fuck
fantasy
is
card
that?
game. Not something you would know about.
Wait, is this a video game?
Yeah, it's a
or
video game. It's a video game.
But it's a card game?
It's a card game. Yeah, it's a card game
on
video
the
game.
video.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I don't even understand.
Yeah, it's fine.
Pat,
So
do you understand this?
No.
I
Wait,
played this
how
game.
How does this work, dude? It's a card game on the
How does-
video.
What
Like,
does this
what are
have
we
to do
doing?
with whiskey and chokes?
It doesn't have anything to do with whiskey and chokes. I think we should veto.
But
this.
you like it. You enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I like
so
it.
you
I like
played-
it.
So you
Okay.
so you played the game.
I can't believe we're talking
You
about
played
this.
the game.
So you woke up at 10, you're playing
Yeah, I
a
woke
video game.
Okay. So I'm living on my friend's couch at the
Okay.
moment. I mean, I'm staying on my friend's couch because I'm here for a week.
Dude, you're welcome in Santa Fe, just so you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're gonna
right here.
have to.
Right here.
Thank you.
That's all I want.
Right here in Santa
Yeah,
Fe.
it's true.
You're
Ving
welcome.
Rhames
We've
wine.
been drinking all night. So I woke up at 10. I played some video games with my buddies. They
Okay.
went to work. I went to hang out with a really nice, really attractive girl for a couple hours.
Was this
The-
the one
The
that
girls
from the
at
other night?
the
Yes,
Bayou?
yes, the girl from the
my
other
God.
night. Yeah, the
oh
girl
my
from the other
God.
What's her name?
No, we're not gonna talk about that. No.
She's a raven-haired beauty.
A raven-haired beauty.
We-
Yes.
What is she?
Wait, I
5'3",
thought she was kind of
5'4".
a dirty,
4".
dirty blonde.
No,
So-
She had some
fucking high.
Did she have
No,
some
son.
highlights? Did she?
No, she's Asian.
She's Asian.
Jesus Christ.
She's Asian?
She
She's
is?
part Asian. Yes.
She is?
What?
Yes.
No.
Oh my God. So this girl is
She's tricking you, dude.
16
She's not-
inches shorter than Ty.
Yeah. Is that okay?
You like some small.
Yeah, I do.
Vulnerable.
I don't know.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable. No, not vulnerable.
She
Small and
She
vulnerable.
weighed about 95 pounds.
Listen,
You know-
listen,
you know
you
that
guys.
guy.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
a,
Jesus Christ.
That's like a Mark Coleman almost direct quote.
Mark
You know
Coleman.
that gotta be tight.
Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
It's like she weighed about 90 pounds.
Anytime that I can be
You
compared
know
to
that
Val
pussy's
Carmen,
gotta
I'm
be
happy.
tight.
I'm happy.
Oh my God.
I was going to tell the chick to watch this podcast, but that's not going to happen now. Thank you, gentlemen, for ruining that. For
No,
me.
she was
What's
lovely,
her,
dude.
What's her name?
No, we're not talking about
She
that.
was She was lovely. We
She's-
all
she's
three of us
attractive,
were at
right?
dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a lovely girl. She was.
We were at my birthday. I just
Yeah,
turned
she
26.
was lovely.
I just
There's
turned
no
26.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, for the love of God.
She looked like she was kind of naughty and needed,
What-
needed some
what-
spankings.
Dude, so this girl's really part Asian.
Gosh, she's part Asian.
No way. Dude.
Really?
She's lying to you.
Yeah, she's part Asian, a very small part.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Jesus Christ.
She's
you guys are
lovely.
going to give me in trouble
Dude,
in the future.
So the reason why it's so funny is because
She don't look Asian at all.
no. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
man, I mean, I've had many Asian girlfriends, and probably she could be my granddaughter. Ty, you're basically dating my granddaughter.
Well, Jack, that would come full circle now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyways,
She's a great girl though.
for the love of fucking
Seems like
God,
a great girl.
I played some video games and then I hung out with a very attractive, very nice, very respectable girl. And
She was on good behavior at the dinner.
then basically I just kicked it with my friends. And then I went to the Salt Lake Grappling Club, and I'm really happy. Like, these guys have given me an opportunity to teach and to practice my teaching, which is super great because that's kind of like the end goal for me. It was cool. It was super cool to teach what I know, which isn't a lot.
Actually, Ty did a fantastic job teaching.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
like how when you're teaching, you kind of like look up at me like, am I doing okay? And
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, dude, do your thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
No, Ty did a great job. No lie.
Thank you.
Ty did a
I appreciate
fantastic
that.
job. There's no
I appreciate
question.
that.
So.
I do really appreciate the opportunity, though. Like,
yeah, dude, whatever.
for real, it's cool. But it's weird
You were
because,
stealing all your knowledge.
Yeah.
well,
That
but
was
it was an opportunity for
That was
us.
more for our
That was an
benefit
opportunity
than
for us, for
anything
sure.
else.
the thing
But we
that's
appreciate
weird is that the people that I'm teaching are my peers, They're people that have been grappling longer than me. They're people that have helped me as I've come up through the ranks, so to speak. And it's really kind of a trip to be showing the moves and to be almost pretending to be a coach. But it's really great to be with people that you know and you trust because they allow you that opportunity to be yourself.
I mean, it was awesome because, most of them have, some form of Down syndrome. They're homeless, autism spectrum.
I don't
But
necessarily-
Ty took it so serious. He took it so seriously.
I take it serious, man. It's fucking for real.
I'm just
It's
kidding.
for
No,
real.
I'm just kidding. It was all legit. It was all legit.
Yeah, no, it was really great. Like, they allowed me to teach the leg lock chains and the style of leg locking that I'd learned in Texas.
It was because we wanted to steal your shit.
I
Stealing
mean,
it all,
for
Julian.
sure, we're
We
stealing
wanted
the
to-
shit.
we wanted
Stealing
to
it all.
Julian,
We're
Julian,
stealing your
stealing
shit,
it all.
bro. We're stealing your shit. No, okay. So this was the coolest thing about going to Texas is Julian was like, "Hey, I want you to make a video. Like, I want you to learn this shit. I want you to see this shit. I want you to take this shit back to your coaches and your training partners."
Dude,
And
It's
that
like-
to me is the coolest fucking thing
Yeah,
anybody
that's
can
awesome.
ever
It's
do.
highly
awesome.
legit. Like, honestly, if I
I-
ever go to Dallas,
I
first
was-
place I would go is I will go take a lesson from Julian.
I
Absolutely.
I was
Absolutely.
shocked when you told us that stuff about the video thing, and I told Jack, and I looked at him, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
really? This guy?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, send this video to your coaches, and I was like, fuck, really? I was like, that's fucking great.
Dude, totally. Like, this
Yeah.
guy, he is 100% about the perpetuation of no-gi grappling.
Yeah,
I don't know for
We
sure.
love it.
Because like I said, he's a little nebulous about his background. I didn't get to know him that well, but I think he's a black belt in the gi, and he is 100% committed.
Where's this coming
Where
from?
did you get that from?
I think talking to him and looking at his website and shit, I think he's a
What?
black belt in the gi.
What?
I don't even. So I'm making. This is the first I've heard of this, but man, I don't care if this guy. I don't care what belt this guy is.
Yeah.
Like, the shit we learned from you is really interesting. So I don't even care
Yeah.
where this guy came from.
All I know is their system looks really interesting. It's really cool. It's new,
Yeah,
and their guys are kicking ass in
Their
competitions.
guys are winning. That's what
They're
matters.
winning.
Their guys and their girls are winning. in
Yeah, they're
competition.
winning, and so man, that's all that matters. Like,
Yeah.
if it works in tournaments,
If it works, it works.
If it works, it works. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
That's,
I
Absolutely.
don't care where he came from.
yeah,
at
it's
all,
like
at
I'll
all.
try it out.
Yeah.
It's like the whole Brandon Quick thing.
Yes.
So Brandon
Yes.
Quick, super controversial
Lay it
figure.
down for us. Lay it
Yeah,
down.
so he came on to 10th Planet. He kind of fudged his background a little bit. Got kind of kicked out of 10th Planet. But this DVD series that he came out with what was it called?
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black,
Mm.
with all these different chokes that he kind of introduced and made popular and had all these setups for. Some of it is really, really, really good shit.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like-
really interesting.
Because
I've heard of it, but I've never
It was
watched
like
it.
the perpetuation of the Japanese necktie.
Oh,
A lot
okay.
of that was
Okay.
Yeah.
originally on Fade
Okay.
to Black. I don't know if he invented it or what, but a lot of that was
No, dude, it was Aoki.
It was a
Yeah, that's why it's Japanese.
okay,
Aoki,
necktie,
my
of course.
favorite MMA
But-
grappler.
But a lot of
But
that
you're
was,
saying some of the other setups.
Yeah,
and shit.
some of the
Yeah.
setups and everything was
Yeah.
on Fade to Black, and so there was a ton of shit on Fade to Black, and I watched some kind of recent videos of him teaching in the last year, and it's like, yeah, that guy kind of lied about his background or whatever, but he's got some really interesting moves that I know work.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So
it's
so
kind of like
I could kind of forgive all that. I don't really care. about what he says, like, you know, his legitimacy of his background. Like, if his moves work, they work, and you know, I'm gonna use them.
What is his competition background?
He's tried to compete a couple times. He's like done like mediocre, like okay.
So,
like
yeah, I mean, this is a really controversial topic because the Fade to Black DVD was pretty interesting. Like anybody who grapples like Nogi, I think if they watched it, they were like, "Whoa, this is pretty interesting shit." And then Brandon Quick, he got beat in a competition by a much lower belt, and it looked really bad. And so I think what happened was Eddie was like, "Hey, Brandon, you know, you said you were this belt. Like, where did you get that belt? We honored your belt from this earlier guy."
Just taking him on faith, trying to be a good
Yeah.
guy.
Okay.
And it turned out there were big questions about where he got these fucking belts from, you know?
Gotcha.
And I don't really know. I don't know the facts, but it looked, from what I read, it looked like he had misled some people about these belts he received. So we had this DVD that was really good, but it looked like to me we'd been misled as to where this guy came from.
Gotcha.
So it's like part of you feels like, fuck this guy, how dare he lie to us? And then part of you is like, man,
his content is good.
Yeah, fuck where he came from. Like, let's just look at what he said.
Well,
you know?
and that's why I'm so happy to have gotten involved with the Nogi scene from the get-go, is that I don't give a fuck about belts, and I never will, because I think that all a belt is a belt is a representation of your commitment to a style of grappling that you learn from your coaches.
No.
No? You don't think so?
It holds your pants up.
Well, okay. But let's be real. How do you get a belt? You have to put in time at a gym.
No, you buy it at JCPenney.
Dude, I mean, like here's the thing, right?
You're being a dick.
No, but Ty, think about it, right?
You know I'm right.
No,
the
but,
only way
I
to
mean,
get a belt.
Hear me out though.
Okay,
like,
lay it down on me.
If a guy gives you a belt,
yeah,
it's based on his discretion, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But if his discretion is not worth that much, then the belt is right.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
we have a lot of examples of guys getting belts and they suck.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying is that
it's subjective. That's
exactly.
It's subjective.
A belt, it's a lot of different things. One thing that it can be, aside from something that holds your pants up at JCPenney's, is a belt can be a measure of your dedication to a particular style of grappling that you receive from your instructor. So,
and maybe that style sucks. Maybe it's good. We don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the belt is a subjective piece of equipment that can, in some way, signify your
we've had some drinks.
Your dedication. Yes, we've had some drinks. So the thing to me is that belts don't fucking matter, because at the end of the day, your dedication to a specific style is irrelevant based on your performance in competition. And my performance in competition thus far does not provide me with a black belt, and that's all that I'm aiming for.
I mean,
so dude, why does it really matter?
I mean,
right?
Yeah. I mean, the truth of the matter is, like, a guy who's been a black belt for a long time, from like an old lineage.
Yeah.
He finally I saw him post something. Maybe it was 1 year ago, maybe it was 5 years ago. I can't remember, but he was like, "Man, the problem is now the belt might mean a lot of things. Like, there are guys, there are guys giving belts for guys who donated to their gym.
Totally. For time.
Yeah. There are guys who just guys who just like straight donated money to their gym.
Money.
And there are guys who like put in 10 years, but they fucking suck. But they put in 10 years, so they're gonna get a black belt, you know?
Yeah,
it's
which is fucked up.
It's all subjective. But if you look at like wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't have any famous NC2A wrestlers, and people are like, well, he might fucking suck on the mat, but he got a black belt from so-and-so, so let's give him a lot of credit. Doesn't fucking exist. I mean, there are no there are no Gable black belts. People are like, this guy's
Yeah.
a fucking sucky wrestler,
Yeah.
but he's a Gable black belt, so let's have him coach at Iowa State.
So if I can,
Doesn't fucking exist. You
for
know?
those of you that are familiar with climbing, you know that climbing has grades, right? The Yosemite decimal scale has route grades, which are 5-0 to 5-15 plus. And you know that the bouldering scale goes from V0 to V16 plus. So that's what I really loved about climbing is there's no subjectivity to it at all.
either you climb it or you don't,
Either
right?
you climb it or you don't. You're
Right.
either this good or you're
Yeah.
not. And you either climb this grade consistently via multiple areas of the US or of the world, or you don't.
It's literally set in stone.
It's set in it's set in stone.
Terrible
It's-
fun. Terrible fun.
It's not subjective. And that's my big problem with belts. It's like, why are you working towards something that's so subjective when all that really matters is your ability level?
Yeah, I mean, even locally, like we know of guys who've gotten belts, and everybody I know is like, man, that guy's shitty. Why'd he get that belt?
Yeah, totally. It
And
happens.
You know what I
It
mean?
happens.
It's the same belt, so that's why we went the non-belt route. Like,
And I'm so happy that I don't have a belt. Like, it makes me so happy that I don't have to measure up to a specific goal when all that really matters is training. Like, if you show up to training every day, you're getting better. That's all that matters.
yeah, I mean, there are guys like if a guy really. So the cool thing is that what matters is the ability, right? So if you go to a tournament and you suck, you're not going to win the tournament.
You suck.
But if you're good, you might win the tournament. And like in grappling, like we can go the route of belts and lineage and all that kind of stuff, or we can go the route of like just like who's winning tournaments.
What team is winning tournaments?
So I mean, it's kind of like, do you want to be like boxing? Do you want to be like Muay Thai? Do you want to be like wrestling? Or do you want to be like Taekwondo and Aikido and even worse, like Tai Chi Chuan? Like, there's a choice to be made there, you know?
I'm going to let you guys move on to the next topic. I'll be right back.
Ooh. So we've got Mr. Ty here.
I'm gonna show you guys something special. Real quick.
Ooh, Pat's gonna show you something. We got Mr. Ty straight from Mammoth.
Okay, check.
Pat's gonna show you a picture.
See
I
this?
think. I don't know if it'll focus. Will it focus?
No, it won't focus.
What is it? What is it? Just describe it. Just tell them what it is. Can I tell? Oh my God, we can't even say her name. So this is Pat just showed me, and I'm kind of stoked that I even saw it, but Pat just showed me a picture of a young lady who Ty is in close contact with, I think.
Ty's gonna be living in a van down by the river.
Oh yeah, dude, can we show him what Ty might? Let me just show you guys a utensil or tool, if you will.
He's gonna be wine sickling this girl.
Just show him this
See, this is a wine sickle.
corksicle.
Corksicle.
So it's got a cork and a sickle. This is for I mean, can we say it's for the
Chilling down the ladies.
ladies that come to Caliente,
Yeah.
little too Caliente.
Come in hot.
Ty brought this to us. He's like, I'm gonna give this to the ladies who come to Caliente.
Okay.
So can we say the initials of the girl we're talking about?
I don't.
Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's too
He'll
much.
get mad.
Yeah, she'll figure it out. So, but I think he brought this. He's like, I'm gonna use this to chill her wine. He's like, I'm gonna use this corksicle and I'm gonna chill her wine with this one.
What the fuck?
Oh no, we said too much. We said too much.
Jesus Christ. Let's get back to grappling, for the love of God.
Okay.
That's all we've been talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about grappling.
All right.
We've
Don't,
talked
don't
about
you
all
mind?
sorts of
Don't you
grappling.
mind? young
So,
lady.
anyways, I went to Texas. It was fucking awesome.
Who's the best guy you rolled with down there?
So aside from the coach, which is named Julian Sanchez, I rode with this kid Timberland, and let me just break it down.
What's
for
his
you.
real name?
That's his name.
His first name?
Yeah, his first name is Timberland.
Timberland?
Damn.
So
That's pretty
Timberland,
cool, actually. That's
Timberland,
pretty cool. I like that.
Timberland,
Sounds cool.
is a blonde-haired, 205-pound savage. He wrestled and played football in varsity in high school at 260
Not
pounds.
varsity, motherfucker.
Varsity. And then he dropped approximately 55 pounds. He's been
Oh, really?
he's been submission
That's
grappling
that's
for
kind of
about
crazy.
6 years.
Okay.
And pretty much my only goal while I was in Texas was to tap him. And
He didn't wear a Letterman's jacket, did he?
needless to say,
Just kidding. Just kidding.
he fucking dominated me. I couldn't stop him.
Was he the guy that you sent the picture of, or the video from Naga?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I went to Nong and Dallas
So-
and lay it down, Pat.
Yeah,
What,
so
what'd
he
you
was-
see?
So he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He's
and-
19, by the way.
He's only 19?
He's 19.
Holy shit. So he has, I think it was the finals match.
Mhm.
He goes in and hits an Imanari, like, inverted shot
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
into, like, to inside
Inverted heel hook.
Yeah, inverted heel hook. And, like, you usually see that from guys who are about, like, under 170. You know,
Yes.
you don't
Yeah.
really see
He's
it.
Yeah.
very
Guys who are-
athletic. Very
Yeah, so-
strong.
So yeah, man, he went in and hit it on this guy, and I was like, damn, you know, pretty impressive for like a guy that big to be, you know,
Yeah.
pulling off that kind of shit.
So this kid I trained with every day that I was there, and he was super cool. Like, he let me go as hard as I could against him and really test myself.
Oh, talk about the one guy,
Which guy?
you know, that you're telling me about before the podcast that giving you a hard time.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so I'll finish up with Timberland. He's a savage. He's a young guy. He's
Savage.
a fucking beast. Look out for him. He's coming for you. He's coming for your ankle or your leg or whatever the fuck gets fucked up on the inside heel hook. He's coming for you. Be ready. Anyways, my last day that I trained at Ground King, I got to train with a guy who was an instructor at a local gym, and I'm gonna brag a little bit for a moment. He said that I had really good hips, and he thought that I had probably trained in the gi for a lot longer than I've been training.
Was
And-
he a potential lover?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No.
He wasn't sexy.
No, he wasn't sexy.
Okay.
He wasn't like grow up
Okay.
in my tights or anything like
Okay.
that.
All right.
No.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the cool thing was that he gave me a lot of props for my hip movement, which I think is the basic fundamental of
Yeah.
grappling.
Yeah.
And he was surprised at the length of time I'd been training, and he said he was definitely interested in checking out Solid Grappling Club. So that made me feel good. You know, it made me feel like I was representing the gym that had brought me up and the people that had taught me so much.
Dude, for sure. Whenever we're you representing us well or not, man, like we trust in sending you out to the world and having people like judge SLGC on you.
Good.
So
I'm
no
glad.
worries, man.
I'm glad.
No
You know,
worries.
like my only goal is to train hard and to inspire other people to train hard. So
But that one guy though, he started giving you a hard time about.
yeah, you know, he was giving me a little bit of a hard time.
Let's talk about that.
Okay,
what was
so-
up with that? Because this is a really common thing that comes
Okay.
up, so it's relevant to the podcast. It's
Okay.
a really common thing.
Okay,
Yeah, let's talk about
so
it. Let's talk
I mean,
about it.
let's be perfectly honest. I'm still a beginner grappler. I'm still learning. I'm a bigger guy. I'm almost 200 pounds now. I'm trying to move up in weight. And
200 pounds of sinew.
this guy, he was about 100 and maybe 55 pounds.
Okay.
And he had some criticism for me on our first roll. He said that I was using too much strength, that I was a little bit spazzy, and that I needed to be slower and use more pressure.
How dare you?
But lay down the context.
How dare you.
You're-
So the context was that he pulled guard immediately, and I was working to pass his guard. And I did a back step pass, but my foot slipped because the mats are very slippery in Texas. And I ended up falling on his hip,
How
which
dare you slip?
but did you get the pass though?
yeah, I got the pass.
So the context was you just hit a move on this guy who's an instructor.
You passed his guard.
who you passed this guy's guard who
I
has
did pass his guard.
who
So-
has his own school
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Texas.
Ty's a modest guy.
Yeah, he's being modest.
He's a very modest guy.
But it's like I wasn't there, but I can lay it out already because I've seen this scenario play out so many times. So he got his guard passed by a guy who's been training for 2 years, and this dude owns his own school. So of course he accuses Ty of being a spaz.
Listen. I'm not trying to disparage this
You
guy.
passed my guard. You use too much
You
muscle.
pass him my guarda?
Pass him my guard.
Okay.
Pass
Too
him
much
guarda?
muscle.
To be fair,
Musculão.
he said to me, he said to
Portuguese.
me, when you're playing a bigger man's game, you want to try and use more pressure. He said, against the guy as small as me, you can hurt me, things like that. Which I did feel really bad about because I've never wanted to be the guy who's known as the spaz. I've never wanted to be the spaz. I've tried really hard not to be the spaz. I know that I've had a strength advantage over most people, aside from you guys that I've grappled with. Like, I really try and be in control. So I felt legitimately bad. But at the same time, I was doing well, so I was pretty happy.
How dare you pass him my guard using Musculão?
All right. Well, just to set the record straight, like, how many times have you and I rolled?
We've rolled a lot of times, Pat.
Like 100?
Like, 100 for
Like
sure.
probably like 100. And like, I've been training for like 11 years now.
Yeah.
And I can definitely say at this point, you're not a spaz.
Okay, that's good.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good. That's good. I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
so-
I'm
Yeah,
happy.
that's fair. That's
Like,
fair.
I'm glad to hear that. I
Yeah.
really try not to be a spaz because, I mean, the bottom line is I'm a nice guy. I don't want to hurt anybody. I want to win,
No,
but I don't want to hurt
you
anybody.
just train hard.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I train hard. I
fuck.
train hard. I roll hard.
Hell, I've seen Ty. Like, he's like, I'm gonna try this De La Riva thing, or I'm gonna try this, and he like goes De La Riva on a 170-pound guy. How much weight are you right now, Ty?
200.
Yeah, I mean, so he's not. Ty's not a spaz.
I try. I try to roll technically with people smaller than me. I try and not to use so much pressure. I try and give them some options.
You
in
should
terms
have
of
been like-
transitions.
You should have been like, you should have
very
been like,
gentle with the ladies out
bitch,
here.
you shouldn't have pulled guard.
Yeah,
You don't want me to
I mean,
pass your guard?
Okay.
Don't pull
So
guard.
the thing was at that gym that night we had a lot of people training.
Oh, yeah.
So wrestling wasn't necessarily an option.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay, so to put the context straight, this guy, he gave me some technical criticism on my movement, and I took it to heart, and I thought to myself, okay, like, this guy's been training longer than you. You need to really respect what he says. You need to make sure that you're focusing on technicality. And for the rest of my rolls that evening, I really focused on technical passing and smash passing and being heavy and not using my strength and my quickness to my advantage. And I think it was to my advantage that I learned from this gentleman.
To what extent, though, would you say this is like banging an older lady, and she's like, "I feel like you should shovel my walk, and
I don't know what you just said to
clean
me.
my dishes before you do the banging."
Shovel my walk.
It's an older lady. You know, she
okay.
might be like,
Shovel my
an
lady.
older woman might be like,
well, okay.
Ty, walk.
So-
Like, shovel the walk, do the dishes before you do the banging.
So I would say normally that's how I would have felt, but this guy was so incredibly helpful with my game.
Oh no, it's good. It was
Like,
good. Okay,
So
I retract.
so- So
I
for the
retract.
rest of our
For
roles,
the record.
he was telling me, like, I really like that you play this game. You're a long guy. I'm a long guy. I think that this type of game is good for you. I think you
Long
should.
guys, huh?
Yeah. He was a super long, skinny dude like me. He was giving me a lot of good technical advice. Like, he was very cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
No,
So
no, that sounds good.
He
That's
just,
good.
Maybe he just felt bad that his ego got the better of him for a second.
Maybe. I mean, I'm a lot bigger than him. I'm a lot stronger than him.
Okay.
I don't know. The back set pass has become something that I'm very interested in.
Yeah.
So maybe he wasn't as into it as I was, and he was frustrated with my passing
Yeah.
ability. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it's like, even though, like, people talk about grappling as there's no bullshit in it, and there's a certain sense of honesty. Guys still, their egos rear up.
Sometimes you penetrate a little too deep. Like,
Yeah.
you come in, you're like, I'm doing a back step pass. I'm gonna penetrate a little too deep.
No,
Do you have any more wine, Jack?
yeah,
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
Ty.
get you one.
Thank you.
So sometimes guys' egos still rear up, and it's like they kind of, like, it takes them a second to get control of it,
Yeah, I mean,
because it's like it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it's disconcerting when, like, when you're a guy who's been training a while and you're an instructor and you're rolling some guy who's obviously got less experience to you, and they get some move on you and they like get you. And
Okay.
it's definitely hard to, to like man up and be like, yeah, you got me, And so, but I mean, from what you described to me, I'm like drawing my own conclusions from this, but I wasn't there, so I don't know. So it's like, you're a pretty nice guy though. You try and like keep playful, like,
so my whole objective with grappling is I want to train really, really hard, but I want to keep it playful. Exactly like you said, Pat. Like,
okay,
I don't ever want to hurt anybody.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Let's say I'm an instructor and I'm not very good at rolling.
Not very good at rolling.
Let's say I'm a grappling instructor and I'm not very good at grappling.
I know a lot of them.
I don't know what that means.
So Ty Watkins, a fucking rodeo cowboy, rolls into my gym, and he's like, I would like to do the grapples. And I'm like, okay, do the grapples. And then I send him to my assistant, and he like destroys my assistant. And then he's like, I want to do the grapples with you. So I kind of roll around with him, a little bit, but I'll like stop halfway through, and I'm like, Ty Watkins, you are using too much strength. You are a spaz. Right? Usually, like, right when he has me in a triangle, I would stop. Like, oh, he's about to triangle me. So we're like, yo, let me instruct you on how to finish the triangle.
This is a very common meme on Reddit.
Let me, like, instruct you on how to finish the triangle. Like, just move here. And then I tap, like, very gingerly, like, excellent job. Excellent job, my friend.
So you switch to coach mode.
Yeah, you just go to coach mode, and then you're like, Ty, let me talk to you about the.
I want to interject and say that Julian Sanchez, the coach of Ground King MMA,
I don't think he's this way.
He is not this person.
No, we're not describing Julian.
He would 100% submitted me via heel hook
every
fucking time.
So obviously all these things we're talking about do not apply to this guy who gave us this like very very interesting
not
approach
apply to him whatsoever.
To leg locks.
He is the fucking man.
Big props to Julian.
Props to Julian Sanchez.
Holding down the lightweight division.
We love you. We love you for real.
Savage as fuck.
But maybe some other guys like like Ty Watkins rolls in my gym like, hey, rodeo star, like how dare you triangle me? Let me show you how to finish the triangle. And then you just like kind of position yourself and then triangle and you're like, good job, I showed you that.
Yes.
Like
the
that.
Coach mode. Coach mode. When you're losing.
No. I'm teaching you.
But you're losing.
No, I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you,
yes.
Ty.
So this happens commonly in climbing where you're working on a climb, but you can't actually do the climb. And then somebody better than you shows up and you give them the beta, the information on the climb. And you tell them how to do the climb, even though you can't actually fucking do it yourself. And not to say that this is wrong, because oftentimes your beta is correct.
Yeah.
However, in reality, you should keep your mouth shut and appreciate the experience of the person climbing before you. But it's hard to do, right? Because everybody has an ego and everybody wants to be the man. And I understand that because, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I want to be the fucking man.
Hey, you want some?
No, I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta.
Man, I think Kenzo said it best. Like Kenzo was like, man, when you fucking lose, just keep your mouth shut, go into your dressing room, and go home. He's like, when you win. But when you lose, just like keep your mouth shut, do your thing. That's it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. I gotta get up 6:30, work in the morning. It's already almost 1.
It is.
So, all right, cool guys. Have fun with your podcast.
Okay. Adios. Thank you.
Yeah. Keep it down.
Not gonna happen.
Not
gonna happen.
Oh, God.
We're gonna get into some deep shit now.
Yeah. Now it's time to go to the real shit.
The real shit.
Okay, Ty. I want you to give them what you really think for like 90 seconds right now. I'll be right back. 90 seconds of what you really think about grappling. For real, the real shit.
Okay.
While I'm gone.
All right. Let's see. 90 seconds of what I think for grappling. I think grappling has changed my life. I think that I used to put a lot of effort into things that didn't really motivate me.
and didn't really enhance me as a person. And I used to put a lot of effort into things that didn't really make me want to better myself as a person. That didn't really make me want to stop drinking and stop doing drugs and start going to sleep earlier, and stop training or start training, so to speak. Grappling has motivated me to be a healthier individual and to take my career more seriously and to take my responsibilities more seriously. Because without those things, I can't accomplish my goals in grappling. The bottom line is that I want to be a champion. I want to be an ADCC double gold champion. I want to win the best tournament there is, and I want to beat the best guys in the world. And I believe in myself. My team believes in myself. And I know that if I continue to train and continue to apply myself in the way that I've applied myself since the beginning, that the world is open to the possibilities for me. I don't think that it's about physical attributes, and I don't think that it's about.
Are you doing a self-affirmation right
absolutely,
now?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I don't think it's about physical attributes, and I don't think that it's about. I don't think that it's about luck. I think that it's about believing in yourself and working really, really fucking hard. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, when I look at the people that are at the top of the heap, they're working harder than me. They're working harder than Jack and Pat. They're working harder than Julian Sanchez.
Lies.
The people at the top of the heap.
Okay, so Ty, so you've been in Salt Lake, you've been in Mammoth, you've been in Dallas. Like, what would you say to guys who are starting in grappling, like day one? Like some day number one grappler's watching this, he's like, maybe I'll grapple. What would you say to this guy?
I would say you need to decide what your priorities are, because like any sport, grappling is really tough on your body. You're going to pick up injuries along the way. You're going to have to make sacrifices if you want to compete, if you want to train a lot, if you want to be involved with your team. Like, there is no success without sacrifice. So I would say to you, new grappler, decide what you want out of this sport. If you want to be the fucking man, if you want to be the next ADCC champion, then I would say dedicate yourself from the beginning, like I did, because the benefits that you reap from involving yourself with the community are more than your competition wins, and they are more than your dollars. The dollars that I have spent submission grappling, they're inconsequential to the amount of experiences and the friendships that I've gained. It's not even close to comparison. But if for you, this is a way to lose weight, get in shape, enjoy yourself, learn new skills, then I would say take it easy. Tell your training partners, hey, I'm rolling light today. Like, don't ever be afraid to be yourself, because the martial arts community is the greatest community I've ever known. They're the most reciprocal people that I've ever known. Anytime I've ever said, hey, I have an injury, I need to take it light today, everybody has been super cool with me and they've taken it light. But that cannot be said for other communities. So you should appreciate the community that you have and just be completely honest with yourself about your goals, and you will reap the rewards that you put in.
Anything else?
I don't know. Are we closing up?
Let's see.
What else? Do you have
So
anything else you want to
it's
talk about?
almost 1 a.m.
1
for you guys listening on the post. What else? Well, anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. I want to say thank you to Julian Sanchez and Ground King for providing me with an amazing month of training.
Dude, I want to thank them. Like,
Good.
honestly, like what I learned from Ty, via Ty from you guys was very good. So thank you to Ground Kings and Julian Sanchez.
Yeah. I think that the passion that I felt there and the sense of teamwork and camaraderie really ignited a spark in me to push to have my own team or to be part of a team. I I think teamwork is really important, and not everybody can win. So whenever you have a strong team, they revel in each other's victories. Like
Nice.
when I went to Naga Salt Lake, or rather when I went to Naga Dallas, I saw the people that lost, and I saw them so happy for their teammates' victories. And it really inspired a sense of teamwork in the whole group of people. And I think that's very important, because you can't always win. If you're pushing yourself, you're going to lose. At best, statistically, 50% of the time, you're going to lose. So to have teammates that win constantly is very motivating to you. It helps you be part of a team and be part of a winning atmosphere. And I think that's very important. So I learned a lot there, and I'm very appreciative for the experience.
All right, signing off.
Saying off.
Anything?
I just want
right.
to thank Ground King Jiu-Jitsu. I want to thank Sully Grappling Club, and I want to thank all my friends who've helped me get to this point, and I look forward to the future.
Adios, amigos.